Hey Virgo, welcome to Wild Pearl Tarot. Today we're doing your July 2025 Tarot and Oracle reading, asking what's coming towards you. It was such a beautiful rainy summer day that I had to do it outside, so I pre-apologize if there's a little wind that comes through the camera audio. You'll have to be patient with me. But I'm hoping that the benefits of being around nature and that squirrel will outweigh the annoyance of the wind. Might not outweigh the annoyance of the squirrels though. They're very vocal. We're gonna start with this oracle deck. This is the Mudra deck. And we're gonna get an overall energy for our reading, Virgo. You've had some really powerful readings lately. I'm really interested to see what comes out for you today. If you'd like for me to pray for you, if you'd like other Virgos and cross watchers to pray for you, simply say hello or leave an emoji. And that'll give us something that represents you that we can focus on. So you can just do that in the comment area. That being said, please hit the like button on your way in. It greatly helps the channel. So we start with Flow Mudra. This is about discipline, time for change. And this is how you do the hand gesture to empower the message. If you like to do that, I like it because you can kind of collaborate with me. Check out my awesome manicure that my 4-year-old niece gave me. 2 fingers, that's it. No need for the other ones. Here is the mantra. My riches are the little everyday pleasures. This mudra helps you cope with sudden stress, Virgo. While performing it, breathe in and out slowly several times, lengthening the pause after you exhale. Take care, Virgo, for stress can become addictive. To prevent stress from becoming chronic, you can develop appropriate strategies. Take a step back, pause, and reflect. Identify what is superfluous and throw it overboard, delegate, redraft your timetable, and so on. These are the ways that we can feel like stress is manageable. And that is in sudden moments, right? It doesn't mean that July is going to be stressful, right? So this says, give up everything which you find is overstressing you. Surrender it to the setting sun and see yourself afterwards in pleasant company. At leisure in peaceful surroundings, perhaps with your partner, a child, or a pet, playing and enjoying each other's company. It almost makes like stress sound like a choice, right? Interesting. So that might circle right back there, but let's get into tarot. I'm curious. I'm thinking about putting together another channel specifically around de-stressing, around calm, and maybe even helping people go to sleep. I'm a composer, so I make music for a living. I love all that 432 hertz stuff. If you know it, you know it. I'm curious for you guys, like, what do you escape to when you're stressed, when you're tired but you can't go to sleep? All the things, right? Where do you go on YouTube? Do you go to those historical channels and like listen to a soft voice talking about medieval castles? Never done that before. You know whose voice I love is David Attenborough. Who knows about that dude's voice? Everybody, right? Watch the gazelle. Just fall asleep to like lion attacks because the voice is so great. Okay, Virgo. We start with Hierophant, what we commit ourselves to, our belief systems, institutions. Let's get a little bit more out for you, and then we'll know what the hell we're talking about. Y'all, this is going to be an extended reading. I try to make them when I have time. Today I have time. That is going to be a link in the description box if you like to have longer readings, go deeper in the meaning, and get advice. All right, y'all, we've got a lot of Pentacles energy coming out here. We have the Moon card. This talks about what's hidden, what you can't see. This talks about the subconscious. And usually when I see the Moon card, it's suggesting maybe some hidden fears that are arising, or something is coming out of the woodwork that you're finally seeing. We have the 7 of Wands, and this is sticking to your convictions, standing by your opinions on something. King of Pentacles could very well be you, Virgo, and that's earth energy. It's also somebody who can be quite practical about the way they invest their energy and their time. We'll see which one that is in a moment. And then we have 2 of Pentacles, and that is literally this action. So reprioritizing or deciding. It's kind of an in-between place. So let me unpack these for just a moment, and we can see where this is going. What's the Hierophant for my Virgos? What do they need to know? There's our stress. Okay, the Hierophant comes out with 9 of Swords, which is overthinking, overanalyzing. Possibly this is where you're getting stressed. It's about taking control of what you're committing to, and it possibly with others. You know, the Hierophant isn't alone in this picture. This is ruled by Taurus, and it talks about institutions, like even like marriage, but also religious factions. Like it talks about what belief systems and disciplines around those belief systems we put together just to make our worlds make sense. Okay, so that's kind of the broad view. Something about this, and it's specifically in a control seat, like a place of authority, taking the lead, taking control in your life within this context, is giving you stress. So let me give you a couple examples, because I know I'm being pretty broad, and that's on purpose. You are all in different situations, but the energy is the same. So be real with yourself, Virgo. If it isn't your reading, don't try to make it fit. But the Hierophant being, if it's a marriage situation, this is giving you stress, taking the lead, control in a situation. Now, I don't know why. We'll probably get nosy with it, but if this is not marriage, it can be within a church or a group that you belong to. It could be a group you've committed to, you know. It could be your yoga class or something. There's something to do with taking the role of leadership in this situation, or the connection of leadership that is given when stressed. We'll come back to that. Okay, Moon, July 2025 for Virgo. What are you leaving behind? Something you're leaving behind with the 8 of Cups, the Hanged Man energy, something that's been a long time in coming. There is a big change coming on here. I think you in July are going to be doing some shadow work, doing some of that deep work, and it doesn't look bad. It looks really good, but it's going to make it very clear something that has been there all along, and that maybe hasn't been moving forward. It's almost like a sleeper situation, like it's been there all along, and you're leaving an aspect of it behind. First of all, you need clarity to do that, so congratulations. But there's a toxic energy with the 3 of Cups here. Now this is with people that you've been in a dynamic with. Sometimes it's a third-party situation if it's romantic. Sometimes it's a group of people who don't serve you. So there's a transformation here. And I think so far, just telling you straight up with this combination of cards, this is facing a discomfort and taking the lead yourself and removing yourself from these energies. That's why you have the anxiety coming up, is I think you know what you need to do. And I think there's a certain amount of independence coming from your cards, even though we haven't seen the 9 of Pentacles yet. The cool thing about this is Temperance suggests that there's a major rebalancing going on. There is a transformation. You're kind of in the process, and when we're in the process of anything, it's hard to see it, the big picture. But you are feeling very much confident in your convictions, in your perspective of this. So you, and more Wands energy, love this. This is the 6 of Wands. So it's like there's almost a sense of like, yeah, I was right all along. Like that will be your hindsight's 2020. That will be your hindsight of like, there's a victory here. You are getting your way. So if there's any doubt that creeps up, consider them one of those wands that this gentleman is fighting off, right? So those wands represent doubt, and they're not attached to anybody on purpose, because in tarot it can mean inner doubt and outer doubt, other people throwing doubt your way. You've got this. You're playing king of the hill with any doubts, and it's going to end in a victory. It's going to end in a victory of sorts. So keep going, Virgo. Keep believing in yourself. You do have another energy coming up here. It's the King of Cups. King of Cups is a different energy than yours altogether, whereas yours is kind of practical, grounded, based on fact, very aware of what you invest yourself in. And it's kind of got to make sense. You know what I mean? Whether it's a person you're investing in or it's a business, you need it to make sense. And this person doesn't. No, I'm kidding. In a way, because they could be a water sign. It's watery energy. This person is not so much practical as they are compassionate. They're moved by emotion. They're somebody that you can lean on in a vulnerable time. They're very emotionally mature. So they're very much like all the watery signs. They are, they work in the realm of emotion and intuition. What about these two individuals? Let's get a new deck of cards. These have all been pre-shuffled with you in mind. What about these individuals for my Virgos? Options. Ooh, somebody feels left out in the cold. Somebody feels like there was a harsh ending. Somebody feels that the other might have a lot of options here. We've got our sense of isolation or left out in the cold. Sorry if you've got some wind blowing through the camera. We've got, the Five of Pentacles is a card of scarcity, of lack. And so in a relationship, in a dynamic between the two, it can be misunderstandings. It can be isolation. Seven of Cups, all that glitters is not gold. This represents a bunch of options. Nothing anybody has decided on yet, just that they are flying around these two individuals. And then we have the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords looks like a very scary card, doesn't it? But no cards in tarot are really scary. They look scary. The Tower, the Devil, the Death card, Ten of Swords. There's a darkness to them for sure. But sometimes things have to come to this type of ending. And this is an ending card. This can be a sudden ending. There can be a sense of betrayal sometimes attached to the Ten of Swords. I mean, the dude's got 10 swords sticking out of his back. So, yeah. So I feel that one of you, if not both of you, feel like this happened suddenly or betrayed by the other. Where is this going? Flew out upside down. The Justice card. Something feels unfair, Virgo. Justice card upside down. Something feels unbalanced. And then it leads us to the Two of Pentacles. How appropriate, this balancing act. What is this balancing of the Two of Pentacles here for, my Virgos? Temperance. Again, balancing. So why would these come out, right? So you may be in a situation with another individual where there are words that are left unsaid, where another person's perspective has not been taken into account, yours possibly included. This balancing comes out when things are still in the ether, things have not landed yet. There's oftentimes overthinking, right? And now we're going to circle back to our first cards to get some perspective now that we've gotten all these balancing cards and the card of injustice. Something's not fair. Actually, I'm going to go back on my word real quick. I'm going to ask about this because there is a victory here and I want it to make sense. What is this victory about is what I'm asking. Judgment. There's a way that you feel about something, Virgo, that others may question, or you in the past might have questioned, but you feel so strong in these convictions that they're kind of like this backpack you've been wearing the whole time. They've been there the whole time. And why are we getting the victory card with those convictions, those beliefs? Because they're leading to a huge wake-up call, the Judgment card. There's something that your convictions are leading you to. They're basically a door to something much bigger, and it's a new journey, it's a new pathway, But this isn't done in rebellion. It's not done on impulse. The energy here with the Four of Swords is contemplative. It's very intentional. So with that in mind, let's ask about these three cards, and then I'll go into the extended because I know that this is getting long for my people who like short readings. Okay, this is what we commit ourselves to, having an anxiety about that authority figure of the Emperor. What is the Emperor symbolizing here? Strength. So this might be a place in your life where right now you're getting all of the encouragement to step into a role of power and authority in a place in your life. It's requiring strength. We don't get the strength card willy-nilly. This is a muscle that you have, but you're getting an opportunity to build and grow. So it might be puny, but it's getting bigger. It's taking the lead in your life in a specific area, and you're going to have a victory here. But there is a rebalancing. Something specifically doesn't feel fair with another individual, and that looks like it's transmuting. If you were to do anything today and you don't go along with me on the extended, check out, like, Google temperance. Temperance card is coming up a couple times in your reading, and it's an important one. It's all about balance. All right, you guys, I will leave it there. I adore you. Please like and subscribe if you find these readings helpful. And you're welcome to join me over at the extended. It's a price of a cup of coffee, about $6. Helps me continue these readings. Take good care. Bye-bye.